facts about serial killers that could save your life. Number 3, you're in the most danger when you're being helpful. One of the most commonly used tactics by serial killers is to ask strangers for help. Commonly, you'll see them like on the side of the road and claim that they're broke down and need to get a new tire, or say that they ran out of gas, or even say they need help carrying something up. But these are the moments when you're the most vulnerable. So if you have a weird feeling, it's better to just say no. It's okay to be rude rather than like be a victim. Yeah. Number 2, serial killers hunt routines, not people. So for example, serial killers will frequently get their victims from the same situation, from the same bar, or on the same street, or even the same gas station. They usually go to places that they're familiar. One of the hardest things to do though is to be alert when you're doing something that you do regularly. So for example, if you go on walks all the time and you walk the same route, usually you won't really be as alert because it's something that you do all the time. But an easy way to stay safe is to make a game out of it. Try to convince yourself that there is someone out there looking for you and you just gotta find them. Doing this, it's a way to make sure that you're alert even when your guard is down. And number 1, if you get taken to a second location, your survival odds plummet. This is a tip that should be shared around the world because it could literally save lives, right? One report said that people who are abducted have between a 60 and 80% chance of survival, but if they are taken to a second location, those chances go down to 5 to 10% chance of survival. So it is so important that if you do end up in a situation where you're abducted, you fight and scream as early and as loud as possible, because the first 10 seconds are more important than the next 10 hours.
It's a situation where it's like, it's either they eliminate you now or they eliminate you in the next couple of years by just torturing you or sending you to a whole different location.
I have a theory.
That anyone even survive that? I thought it was like an instant elimination.
Starting in January, you must submit 5 years of your social media history in order to be allowed into the United States. The Department of Homeland Security has announced that everyone, including people who can enter without a visa, must submit their social media profiles and be viewed up to 5 years beforehand. They also must be required to submit a photo because when they enter the U.S., photos are now taken of your faces. Your social media account will be monitored for political activity, including anti-Semitism and support of terror groups. Meaning in the past 5 years, if you've reposted something that was critical of the Israeli government, you could be denied entry. Even if you're coming in a European country that has great relations with the U.S., normally you could just show your passport. Well, starting January 1st, no. These social media posts would look for, quote, anti-American views and memes of people like Trump and J.D. Vance that make fun of the two. Now, this applies for absolutely everyone. So if anybody just wants to come in with a passport from the United Kingdom, they must beforehand submit their social media profiles to be allowed entry.
So much for freedom of speech. I mean, that's an American amendment. That's like for the citizens. But at the same time, you can't really blame them, because you'll have people saying they hate this about America, but then come to America.
Free sun.
Of a company who will be delivering sunlight during the dark. Can't believe this is actually real. So this is a company based in California, and they're going to have satellites that will be orbiting the Earth with mirrors on it. Through these mirrors, the sun will reflect, and wherever you order the sunlight through their app, that's where you'll get it. As crazy as it sounds, they just finished their last on-Earth test where they did it with a hot air balloon. So now they're going to space, and you can apply to order sun starting in the 4th quarter of 2025.
2026 is going to be a crazy year. We can now order sunlight.
Alright, just little bucks, come over.
Are you ready to start your day with a sugar blast to the head? Come inside, we can fix you right up. These bad boys have at least 16 grams of sugar each, not to mention loads of other crap that will rot your body. Our drinks will send you over the edge, up to 185 grams of sugar, Are you feeling that itch yet? We have everything here to perk you up. Caffeine, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, all this stuff is filled with tons of that crap. Is this what you want? Is the urge too hard to resist? It's like your body needs it. And it's by design. The high levels of sugar and high fructose corn syrup are specifically dosed out to make you crave more and more.
Don't deny the urge. I'm right down the street, waiting.
America runs on Dunkin'.
Alright, so I've been thinking about this video all day. Most of the time when we think of Native American weapons such as the bow and arrow, you imagine it to be fairly primitive as compared to the European steel swords and muskets. But the only reason that the Americas were actually conquered is because Europeans had the advantage of disease sweeping across the continent and killing upwards of 100 million Native Americans. Without that disease, Europeans would have never been able to conquer two continents full of people able to shoot a bow like this.
They also had guns. Disease and guns. Those are the only two things. But, bro, I did not know bow and arrows come in that quickly. I don't know why I thought it was way slower.
Worst phobias you can have.
50 Cent just made a documentary about Diddy. Now, 50 Cent has not liked Diddy for like 20 years. And the reason wwhy 50 Cent doesn't like him is actually very simple. Diddy makes him uncomfortable. You see, about 20 years ago, 50 Cent was on top of the world. Boy was talking about in the club. Boy had a G-Unit chain on. Put your hand in the air if you remember this chain. Gotcha. If your hand's in the air, you're an uncle or an auntie. But that's okay, my hand here too. Anyway, 50 Cent had a problem. When you on top of the world, you start getting all kinds of attention. Diddy calls up 50. He said, 50. 50 said, yeah. Diddy said, hey, I noticed you on top of the world. Let's be friends. Now, at this point, Diddy's still powerful. It's 20 years ago, but he's still an executive. He's still a mogul. So 50 like, okay, that's dope. That's cool. Diddy said, yeah. So why don't we just start by hanging out? 50 said, I don't see a problem with hanging out. What would you think, like bowling or something? Diddy said, nah. I was thinking like we just go shopping. Now, at this point, 50 Cent didn't have any problem. They just going shopping. Whatever. But it's what Diddy said next that shifted things a bit. Diddy said, and I'll pay. Now, this may seem small to some folks, but here's where things actually start to get wicked. Because there was something in how Diddy said, I'll pay, that made 50 Cent uncomfortable. 50 Cent said it was like Diddy was testing the waters. Like seeing how far he can go with 50 Cent in a sense. Let me buy this watch for you. Let me put that watch on for you, Daddy. Me saying daddy was not an exaggeration, because Diddy has never hid the fact that he likes to see how far he can go with people. Even on camera, he don't care. During this interview with Fabulous and Drink Champs, Diddy start talking about, I like when you do that, daddy. Bro was just pouring him a drink. He said, everybody quiet. Diddy said, everybody silent, so let me just run it back. I like when you do that, daddy. Everybody still silent. Fabulous start talking about, man, yeah, anyway, so Diddy said, sorry to cut you off, Fabulous, but why don't you ever come party with me? Fabulous still trying to keep it cool. He said, I like partying with you. We party. Diddy said, no. I'm talking about party, you know what I'm saying? And as if people weren't already uncomfortable, Diddy brings down his glasses and he's saying, party, you know what I'm saying? They say, yes. Now, they didn't say that part out loud. They were quiet, but this is Diddy. Y'all not watching his interviews closely enough. Don't watch them. They'll just make you uncomfortable like 50 Cent was. And the thing about 50 Cent is he gonna let the world know how he feel about you, and he gonna feel that way about you for life. So after that phone call with Diddy 20 years ago, 50 Cent has been saying, yo, y'all gotta look out for Diddy. He made me uncomfortable. So it should come as no surprise that 50 Cent released this documentary about Diddy. He's kept the same energy towards him for 20 years.
Dude, 50 Cent has held that grudge on Diddy for wanting to take him shopping for longer than I've been alive. To be honest, I feel like it goes a lot deeper than just the shopping thing, though. It's giving me like there's a lot more that we just don't know about.
These are 3 facts about serial killers that could save your life. Number 3, you're in the most danger when you're being helpful. One of the most commonly used tactics by serial killers is to ask strangers for help. Commonly, you'll see them like on the side of the road and claim that they're broke down and need to get a new tire, or say that they ran out of gas, or even say they need help carrying something up. But these are the moments when you're the most vulnerable. So if you have a weird feeling, it's better to just say no. It's okay to be rude rather than like be a victim.
Yeah.
Number 2, serial killers hunt routines, not people. So for example, serial killers will frequently get their victims from the same situation, from the same bar, or on the same street, or even the same gas station. They usually go to places that they're familiar. One of the hardest things to do.
Building a better workplace requires great tools, so if you're an
Have you ever seen the clip of Obama giving Biden the Medal of Freedom? Doesn't look like he's very excited. In fact, he looks terrified. Now I'm going to let you watch this, and I just want you to look at his face, he doesn't look like a man holding back tears of joy or excitement. He looks like a man that's terrified and about to lose his soul, perhaps. What's this Medal of Freedom really about? Is someone being let free into him? I want to show you another clip after this that kind of goes along with what I'm saying. Like I said, he doesn't look like he's excited. He looks terrified. Now, I know we live in a spiritual world, and I can't say for sure what's going on here, but I have my suspicions. And I want you to watch this next clip, like I said. And also look, that's original Joe. You can tell by those.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated.
And maybe I've been going about this wrong the whole time. Maybe Jim isn't wearing a mask. Maybe they're just shapeshifters. Have you ever seen this clip?
Clint Eastwood.
I don't care how good you are at manipulating your face. There are just certain things that human faces can't do. And he seems to be demonstrating them to me. Moving parts of your body and your head that just don't move. I don't know if there's some sort of technology going on here or they're literally just shapeshifters. But watch this. These parts of your body don't move. Now I know I can have some wild theories, but I try to not speculate too much. This one's clearly speculation. But the end goal is to get you guys thinking outside the box so you can understand your reality better than you currently do. Because I would venture to guess that the reality you guys think exists is much, much different than you really think. But as always, this is just for entertainment. I'm sure this is just a perfectly kind gesture, and these guys are just normal human beings. Nothing at all sinister going on here. Entertainment purposes only.
Definitely would say Joe Biden looked really, really worried. You could see him take a couple deep breaths.
This is what can happen to a young person's brain when they eat rice that has been sitting out in room temperature for too long. The arrow shows damage to some deep structures in the brain in a young boy that came in with altered mental status and convulsions. This was brought on by something we called fried rice syndrome, and it's caused by a toxin produced by a bacteria called Bacillus cereus. I will say this because I hear it all the time, that many people who are Asian, including myself, grew up eating leftover rice that sat out and nothing ever happened to us. And that's true. Most of the time people do just fine, and this condition is very rare, but when it happens, it can be extremely dangerous, especially to kids. In adults, rarely people die from this, but usually we just get vomiting, and we might not even think that this was due to fried rice syndrome. The kids are the ones who can lose their brain function because this toxin attacks the tiny energy factories inside brain cells. And when the brain suddenly cannot make energy, everything can shut down very fast. I'm going to clarify when it is already dead.
He really managed to get Royal Guard to laugh.
A little closer.
We were together in school, me and him. He went his own way. So I'm standing here.
Okay.
I'm only here for a couple minutes.
How long do you know this man?
30 years.
Disgusting. You ever wonder what's really inside these colors? Come on, lean in a little closer and take a good, hard look. This ain't cereal, this is straight up sugar sludge. Look at it melt. Yuck. You guys really eat this stuff? Red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, all churning in my gut, and you all just feed this for your kids? And you wonder why they are losing their minds. They call this natural flavors. Bro, there is nothing natural about this chemical cocktail. This is supposed to be corn? Nah, bro, this is chemicals pretending to be corn. This is getting crazy. They brag about using whole grain, but it's hollow, bro. There isn't anything whole going on here. Go on, read it out loud. Nasty, right? Breakfast of champions, my ass.
woman believed that she needed to drink human blood like she was a vampire to survive, and she actually goes and eventually does it.
Really?
Yes, and she would call it feeding. So it was this girl named Tracy Wigington, and around this time, this was in 1989 in Australia, she started to have this weird want to drink blood. She convinces 2 or 3 of her other friends. All of these girls are driving around, and they're pretty much looking for a victim for this girl to feed on. They stumble across this man who was just leaving work, I believe, named Edward Baldock. They convinced him to get in the car, pretty much saying that they were going to give him a ride or something. They end up driving this dude, Edward, to a river, like close to a river area. They tell him to get out of the car. They all start getting out of the car, and immediately as they get out of the car, this girl, Tracy, goes and this guy in his neck.
Oh, damn.
Basically 27 times, to the point where he's almost decapitated, how much the wound was like open. After she's died and he's pretty much about to die, she goes straight to the wound and starts drinking it.
While he's alive?
While he's still barely hanging on to life.
Oh, damn.
She starts drinking his blood from his neck. Her and all her friends just get in the car and leave as if nothing happened. And after that, somebody stumbled across the body that was in that area. They end up alerting police. Police find this guy's body. These girls were not slick. Police put 2 and 2 together. They saw a lot of evidence that led back to these women who were 24 or around that age at the time. Damn. These women were originally sentenced to life in prison. But apparently in 2012, the girl Tracy randomly got released.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, and they called her the lesbian vampire killer.
That's so crazy.
Drinking another human's blood has gotta be top 5 most disgusting things someone could do. You know how many diseases, viruses, and just straight up things you can just catch from doing that nastiness?
Ahoy! Ready to fill your mouth with my tasty crunch berries? Open wide! Who's ready for some Captain Crunch Berries? Drop the anchor! First things first, we've got to mix these toxic berries in with my crunch. Fake color and fake flavor. These little shits love it. While we are at it, let's add in these special ingredients. Who cares if they are carcinogens? They make this crap last forever. Come on, boys. Let's overload them with sugar. They will have ADHD and diabetes in no time. It's those damn soggies again. Quick! We must act fast! Captain Crunchberries, put them in your mouth!
Hey, my name is Jerry.
You see a package. It is wrapped in plain brown paper, sitting right there on your desk. There is no return address. You pause for a moment, and then you slice the tape. You carefully lift the lid, and in a single, terrifying, split second, your entire world dissolves into chaos. For 17 long years, this was the nightmare scenario. The FBI called him the Unabomber because he targeted both universities and airlines. It became the most expensive manhunt in history, but the suspect remained a ghost, leaving absolutely no fingerprints, only untraceable scraps of evidence. The decisive break, however, did not come from forensics. It came from a 35,000-word manifesto that was published in the paper. A man named David recognized the distinct writing style, and he made the agonizing call to turn in his own brother. The FBI descended on a tiny, primitive cabin deep in the Montana woods. Inside, they didn't find a career criminal. They found Ted Kaczynski, a former Harvard math prodigy who had abandoned a brilliant future to wage a lonely, deadly war against technology. A life of genius, sacrificed entirely to the wild.
What the hell is going on at Popeyes? This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
It took me a little while to realize why Popeyes giving me a whole chicken head, bro.
You gotta be kidding me, dogs.
This is...
Nah.
This is... Yo, this is the beef. Oh.
This is ridiculous.
Chicken head. I am so done. Look at the chicken eye. Yeah, I'm so done.
Not the eye.
Popeyes. Seriously, Popeyes?
What the Shut up! Are you kidding me, bro? That looked like there was a whole chicken in that box. Now, I don't know if the chicken was still here or the chicken was no longer alive. But it looks like they deep fried the whole chicken and served it in the box. Stop playing with me, son. These videos for entertainment purposes. I don't know how true that is, but it's looking like it's real and she just showed that she got it from there. Shut up! I'm telling you guys. Stay away from those places. Stay away. Because they don't even care anymore. They the whole chicken, deep frying it, and giving it to you just like that. Stop playing with me, son. It's gonna get on you guys and you know what to do. Stay away from there. How many more signs do you need, guys? Nah, just playing around, guys. Go over there, go get the fried shrimp. Those are really good. Stop playing with me, son. It's gonna get on you guys and you know what time, son. But I'll tell you one thing. If I ever go to Popeyes, which I never would, so if I'm with somebody and they go to Popeyes and they open the box and it's a whole chicken head with the whole body, yo, go back around to the drive-thru.
Bro said, yo, try out the Popeyes fried shrimp, and then proceeds to tell us that he doesn't go to Popeyes. But what's going on with the food industry lately? I feel like every time I look at one of these TikToks, it's just something weird about the food industry. Either like it looks like human meat, we have wart burgers, like, dude, at this point, you just gotta stand inside and just cook your own meals, bro. Like, if you want the best, the healthiest, and the most nutritious, just make your own meals, guys. That's literally just it.
Thank you all for watching this here video.